Hi, this is Reggie from Result Plus Physical Therapy. And as you all know, my mission is to end chronic pain. And one way that we can prevent pain, or one way that we can end chronic pain, is to prevent an injury at home or at work. This is a very common scenario or common question that I get from my patients. What is better to move a heavy object? Is it to push or to pull? I think preventing an injury in that very common situation will help us prevent pain in a lot of people. So now I want to show you what is better of the two. Because let me share you a story. I have a patient, I remember her, and this is just a simple thing. She was walking her dog, and and it's not a big dog, it's like a Chihuahua. So she decided to pick up the dog after, right? And then when she bent over to pick up the dog, all of a sudden she had, sharp pain in the back, going down the leg. Next thing you know, she was diagnosed with a herniated disc, and one thing after the other. Last is like she already had surgery because conservative treatment was not enough to get her better. After the surgery, she had physical therapy, so now she's all good. But that could have been avoided. All of that could have been avoided, and that's why I want to share with everybody, this important tip. Now, did you know that one of the two, either pushing or pulling, is more likely to cause an injury? And I'm going to tell you which one it is. When you're actually pulling, studies have shown that you are more likely to cause an injury, like a back injury. The reason for that, there's several reasons. One is because when you're pulling, you're rounding your back. Okay, so when you're rounding your back, your spine, the joints in your spine actually opens up, and when they're open, the disc is more likely to protrude. Okay, so that's one reason. The other one is when we're pulling, especially if it's heavy, we tend to hold our breath, and when you hold your breath, the heavier it is, it will actually make the disc protrude even more, or more likely to protrude, right? And then when it touches the nerve, then it will start causing pain. All right. So the other one will be for most people, your back muscles are weak, and that's the reason why we have poor posture in the first place. We're sitting all the time, so the back muscles are weak, and now you're trying to use those weak muscles to move a heavy object. So that can only cause trouble. All right. And then a couple other things will be, one, if you're trying to pull, you can actually run over your foot, which can cause another injury. Or sometimes your grip might slip, and then when it slips, you might actually fall on your butt, which can cause other injuries and lead to further injuries. All right. So those are the reasons why pulling will actually hurt you more. Now, why is pushing more advantageous in this situation? The reason for that being is, if I'm gonna push, so let's say I'm gonna push this table, I'm using bigger muscles on my body, which are my legs, the glutes, and the chest. So these big muscles can move a heavier load more easily. And aside from that, when I push, I can actually use my weight. So when I lean, my body weight will actually, it will add to the force of my muscles. So I can move a heavy load more easily also. All right. One thing when you're pushing though, I want you guys to remember is, if you have wrist or hand issues, wrist or hand pain, be careful when you're going to be pushing, because that can cause increased pressure on your wrists or hands, and it can actually cause pain. So you have to see which one is more suitable for you, like for your condition. It's not everything is like applicable for everybody. But what I would recommend there is, because I get patients who always, when they come in, or not only the patients, but even people I talk to, they always believe, or they think, this is not gonna happen to me, right? But then sure enough, the patients that I see, they also the same thing, and it did happen to them. And then they have to go to the doctor, get MRI done, some of them have surgeries, have to take medication. all those things could have been avoided. So my recommendation is, if you can get a whole body toning program or whole body strengthening program, that can correct, you know, those imbalances and get your body stronger. And this is all about the imbalances. If, you know, you can see an expert who knows the body, who can create a customized program for you and correct all those imbalances, that way your body will be more efficient. You'll be able to go back to enjoy life to the fullest, such as, you know, running, playing sports, because either pushing or pulling, at some times, it can be appropriate. Now, I don't want to be limited to, let's say, I can only push because my back muscles are weak, so I cannot, you know, pull. I don't want my life to be limited by that, and I don't want my patients to be limited, you know, in that way also. So my recommendation is to have a whole body strengthening program. If you can see an expert, you know, like ourselves, who can customize a program for you. And these are not just like exercises you search in Google and do on your own. These are special, you know, special program created just for you based on the imbalances on your body. And that way it can, you know, it can tone up the whole body, and then it can make you enjoy, you know, everything that you would want to do. And right now we're running a special, so it can be as little as $37 to, you know, $87, depending on the complexity of your pain or depending on the complexity of your condition, right? And it can be as little as a session or two that we can show you these exercises, and you can actually do them on your own at home, and then you'll be able to continue and get stronger. So right now we're running a special, so you can click on the link below, or you can call the number in the number below, or you can call the office, and then we'll set something up and we'll see how we'll be able to help you. So tune in next time for my next video on how to end chronic pain. Bye.